Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf Edwards, and welcome to part 38 of the Abigail Freeman story. Let us begin. So, Abigail and Margaret were laying down in bed next to each other in the Silver Cat Castle. They're still in Silver Cat, just thinking about how they were going to spend the rest of the trip with their mom, with Abigail's mom and dad, of course. When Abigail decided that she was going to spend the trip, the rest of her trip, or this night rather, celebrating the rest of the trip. By no means was this the end of the trip. By no means was this the end of the vacation. By no means was this the end of the vacation, you know what I mean? But they wanted to spend more, yes, they wanted to spend more time with Abigail's mom and dad, of course. So, Abigail and Margaret was talking about how they could do that. It was the morning at that point, and they had decided to spend the rest of the day and the afternoon and night with Abigail's parents. Having found out that her mom was a secret agent for the Silver Cat government with association with America, of course, it was time for Abigail to spend time with her mom and dad, along with Margaret. So she decides to get up out of her side of the bed, along with Margaret, and they had decided to get dressed whilst Abigail was going to call her mom to tell her or to ask her out for breakfast, which is just the beginning of their day, actually, of their day together, of course. So Abigail got dressed after she, so she gets dressed, and then she goes out to ask the butler where the phone is. She says, Mr. Butler, do you, it must be so busy, but I need to ask you a question. Do you, by any chance, may know where the phone is? And the butler points her in the right direction. After that, she picks up the phone and she calls her mom. And her mom said, "Oh, wow, I was just about to call you. Actually, I wanted to see how you were doing." And she says, "I'm okay. Hey mom, I want to ask you, do you want to go out for breakfast?" She says, of course, yeah, of course I do. Of course I would. We would love to. No problem. I'll pick her up at 7 a.m. That's great. Because we're already up by that time. No problem. So, the sun was about to come up. The sun was rising. The sun was rising. And everything was going amazingly. They were going out to eat breakfast and spend the rest of the afternoon after that morning with Abigail's parents. So she asked, no, so she, so she asked the limo driver, would you like to be the limo driver of me, my mom, my wife, and my dad to take us where we want to go? And he says, I would be delighted. By the way, love movies. Yeah, I know, everyone says that. Come on, babe, we gotta go. If they wanted to go a little bit early. So, they get in the limo, and they were gone. They make it to the vacation home of Abigail's mom and Abigail's dad. They knock on the door, of course, and they open it. I mean, you know, Tiffany was a little bit, shocked and a little bit shocked that her daughter arrived that early. Because, they said 7 o'clock a.m. and they arrived at 6 o'clock a.m., of course. A little bit more ahead of schedule than her parents would have liked it to be, but, it was what it was, of course. Tiffany yelled at her husband to get his ass, and I quote, down here. Of course he does. They leave the house and they're off to eat some breakfast. Of course. So they find a restaurant to eat some breakfast in, and they are enjoying themselves. To make a long story short, they're eating breakfast and they're having a grand old time, if you will, and they are heavily enjoying themselves. Abigail is laughing, about how she stuck her head in the toilet when she was a baby. It was all quite funny, of course. And then she says, I'm so happy I didn't put that in the book. And they laughed. It was funny. Anyway, that's when Abigail said to her mom and dad, so, we want to spend the day with you and the evening as well. What do you think about that? and Tiffany, Abigail's mom, of course, said, "No problem, I would love to." But aren't you staying in the second castle? Yes, but that's not a big deal, unless it is. No, 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 no. I don't think it's a big deal at all, Abigail. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, no problem, no problem. And so they finish the breakfast. They are having a great time, and then they decide to, go to and then they decide to go for a walk. So they get out of their chairs and they are just walking for the rest of the morning. Just hanging out, walking down the street of Silvercat. Which there are many other restaurants, of course. And they're just having a good time, just walking. And, they see a dance club in the morning, which is a little bit weird. But they are heavily curious. So they just walk into the club, and the music is loud as hell, and it's quite enjoyable. So they just walk into the club and just, just hang out with each other. They find their seat, by the way, and for the rest of the morning and afternoon, they're dancing their asses off, of course. They're just enjoying themselves. Very much so. After that, Abigail is tired. Margaret's not, by the way, but Abigail is. Tiffany, Abigail's mom, and Franklin, Abigail's dad, is a little bit exhausted too. They're a little bit tired by that point. So they decide to go back Abigail decides to go back. Abigail and Margaret decides to go back to the second castle of the King of Silvercat. And, of course, Tiffany and Franklin decides to go back to their vacation home. Sorry about that. After that, Abigail and Margaret decides to take a nap. And they also decide to meet up again for dinner. So after that, they take a nap. Abigail takes a nap for a while. It was now 6 o'clock p.m. It was now time for dinner. So she wakes Margaret up because it's time for dinner. And, of course, she does. And, they are gone again. They leave the second castle. And now it's time for Abigail and Margaret and Franklin and Tiffany Freeman to eat dinner together. So that's exactly what they did. They go to the limo and they pick Abigail's parents up. After that, they are off to dinner. They find a place earlier in the morning time, and everything is going well. They find the restaurant. They get out in the limo, and go into the restaurant. And for the rest of the night, they are eating dinner together. It's enjoyable. Everybody's having a grand old time, as was breakfast. After that, it was time for them to go home again. Abigail was a little bit drunk because she ate dinner while drinking copious amounts of wine, along with her parents and her wife, who was also a bit drunk. So they decided to call it a night. Abigail and Margaret go back to the second castle. Franklin and, of course, Tiffany go back to their vacation home, and the rest was the night. They arrive at the second castle. The king opens the door. He sees that they are drunk as hell, and he puts them to bed himself. And that was it. To be continued. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel again. Also, leave a comment down below telling me what you like about the video or hate about the video. And I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.